just can't hear you, but they're like, oh yeah, we can
Yeah.
We can hear it, but not Gabby, but that's fine.
Wow, my mom's late to the game, not replying.
Your
Come
mom
on,
steps away for 1 second.
I know.
Just try again. Try again.
All right, are we getting the show on the road?
Yeah, let's
Is that
go.
what we're
Right.
doing?
Let's get some theme
Start.
music.
Where's my mom when I need her?
All right. All right. Hello, bonjour, and welcome to our 6th episode of Couch Potato. This is a very lighthearted show, and we talk about sitcoms, funny anecdotes, and we quiz each other and put our knowledge of sitcoms to the test. My name, if you don't already know, is Stéphane.
I'm Gabby.
I'm Maya.
And I'm Sheeza.
So yeah, welcome to Sheeza. We've got a new guest
Welcome to
host
Sheeza.
on the show.
It's like ringing.
And today I'm going to tell you guys to grab some poutine, grab
God.
some maple syrup, maybe even some
Maple
ketchup
syrup.
chips, and locate your nearest couch because we've got a great show coming up with not 3, but 4 Canadian sitcom episodes.
Ooh.
Stéphane, your French side is really popping off
yeah.
today.
Yeah, you said
Bonjour.
Poutine. Bonjour.
2 words, I know. Huge.
Yeah, that's what we need.
You know, the imposters say just poutine. Sorry.
Oh my God. As a core French student, that was a lot of French for me right now, okay?
Core French. I hated the core French because I was in immersion, so I was like, ugh, you guys don't understand the struggle.
See, that's only a Canadian problem, right? And so
Yeah,
that's
that's
why
true.
we're talking about Canadian sitcoms today.
We're like digging into
Exactly.
our roots, our true Canadianness.
Canadianness. Nice, Gabby.
Is that a word?
Very good.
Solid.
No idea.
Right. Oh,
What's the first show you got for us, Gabby?
I've got Mr. D for us.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I am very excited.
a good one.
Do I wait for Stinger?
Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
Holding for technical
I wonder if they could
difficulties.
hear. We should have like Ariane and Lucas on here as well.
Yeah, we really should.
All right.
You know what? Do.
Wait, we-
Okay.
I think
It went on.
It played.
Back at, here's
Thank
Gabby
you,
once
Gabby.
again doing our transition music.
No problem. I obviously cannot hear anything. Once again, that is fine. All right, we're going to kick it off with our first show, which is Mr. D. If you guys don't know Mr. D, he is he's a real guy. His name is actually Jerry D, Mr. D. But in the show, he's also Jerry D. And in the show, he is a teacher who is really not qualified to teach the subject he is teaching. So he is qualified to teach physical education, but for some reason they've got him in social studies. So he's kind of just like faking his way through teaching these students. I don't know what grade he is teaching. But we meet him. We've got Lisa, who's another social studies teacher who's actually qualified to teach social studies. And then we've got the vice principal, and then I think her name is Bobby, who's the physical education teacher, which is kind of like what he wants to be doing because that's what he's qualified to do. And she's like, all right, well, you can coach the grade 5-6 girls basketball team, and like lead the tryouts and stuff. And he's like, all right, fine, I could do that. Which he really can't do. I think he actually sucks at basketball. So what he does for the tryouts is he's got these like cutouts of him on these like cardboard cutouts, and they're at like different heights, which is like him when he was playing. And he says for anyone that's like shorter than like the first one, like you're cut from the team. So the first girl he pulls up, he's like, here, come here. He puts her up to the cardboard cutout. She's like she's shorter than it. He's like, yeah, I'm sorry, and like kicks her out. And I was like, that is so upsetting. And then so he tries recruiting this really good player from another school. I think her name's Cadence, it says. And
I believe it's Candace.
It's Candace?
Yeah.
It's spelled Cadence here. So maybe typo? Anyway. Candace.
Just bash the writing team.
Yeah, whoa.
Right, typos happen, guys. And he tries to convince her parents to let her like transfer schools and play with them, but they're like, yeah, you don't seem very educated, and they ask him these questions that he can't answer, like who was the first president and this other stuff, and he just like has no idea. So eventually they do not send their daughter to Xavier Academy, which is where he works, and he ends up deciding to just work with the girls he's got. So he's got this one player that he's working with, and he calls her Glasses, but then he starts calling her Strap. But her actual name is Gabby, actually. I remember he was like, hey, Glasses. She's like, actually, it's Gabby. And that's pretty much it. At the end of the episode, he decides he's going to work with these girls and try to make them good players, even though he himself is probably not the best player. But anyway, do you guys actually know Mr. D, like, before today, I guess? Did you know who it was?
I remember like seeing like advertisements for it or like just like small like snippets of it. But for the most part, I didn't actually know what the show was about other than the fact that he was a teacher. But today after watching it, it was pretty intriguing seeing like the type of teacher he is and like the kind of like he's just like always trying to show that like he is a good teacher and like he has like education about like physical education and stuff. But
Yeah, I mean, same here. I had always kind of heard of it, but I never really watched it. But I really enjoyed actually the first episode. It's really fun. He's kind of got like Michael Scottish kind of vibes, and I love the scene where he's like trying to like talk to Candace in the like
he walks into the like
in the other school, and then he's like honk twice if the parents come, or honk once if the parents come, honk twice if it's the cops.
I think that was probably the creepiest thing, because the way he walked up with his hood on and everything, I was like, you look like you're gonna like kidnap these children. Like you can't just walk into a schoolyard like that.
When he put his hood on, that just like seemed awful. I was like, you looked okay before, but then when you put the hood on, you're looking so sketchy.
Like very sketchy. But the reason I asked that is because I feel like a lot of people don't actually know Mr. D. Because when I was in grade 9, 10, I don't know, he actually came to our athletic banquet and spoke.
Actually,
yeah.
No way.
And I was like, is that Mr. D? And some people were like, who's Mr. D? I was like, what? Now he's like the host of Family Feud Canada, if you guys didn't know that as well.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr.
Mr. D's really up there.
Mr. D's popping off now.
Yeah.
Good for him.
I love Mr. D. How about you, Stéphane? Have you did you see it or know about it before?
I'm pretty much in the same boat as Sheeza. Like I've seen it around at like friends' houses, like on the background, but I've never really watched more than an episode or two. Right? So I knew what the show was. But if you're like, oh yeah, I remember season 6, episode 5, I'm like, no, I don't.
I wouldn't even be able to do that because, like I was saying to Sheeza earlier, like I watch stuff on like cable. So whatever episode is like on, I just watch it on the TV. Like I don't sit down and like, so I have no idea which episode is like which season and everything. I kind of just watching what's on TV. But the thing I love about Mr. D is like I kind of wish I had a teacher like him. Even though he's like underqualified and has like, he's just talking nonsense to us. He's so like brutal. Like he's very abrupt in like the stuff he says and doesn't really care. He's got like no filter.
He's like very blunt with the things he says.
That's like he's very blunt. He's
like
got no
it especially shows when like he's doing the tryouts and like the girl isn't tall enough. And he's like, "You're cut."
Yeah.
And
like,
then clap for her.
And then there's the girl that is like the tallest, and he's like, "You ever played basketball before?" She was like, "No." He's like, "You're the captain." I was like, "What?" He's like, he's just got no idea what he's doing. But I love it. I feel like I would want to be that kind of teacher. I want to know what I'm doing to a certain extent. Like I want to at least be qualified, but then kind of be like chill and be like, "Yeah, you know what? Just read about the Renaissance. I don't know how to teach it."
In his social studies class, he's like, "What caused the Renaissance? I can't teach you everything. Go at home and figure it out."
He's like, I'm not gonna spoon feed you here.
You couldn't even spell Renaissance.
Yeah, he's like, if nothing caused it, why?
He has no idea what he's doing.
I'm telling you, if I had Mr. D as my social studies teacher in 5th grade, I might be a very different person today.
I actually don't remember social studies. I don't remember learning.
But you would remember it if Mr. D was your teacher.
100%. If Mr. D was my teacher, I'd be like, I remember this guy. Yeah. He didn't teach me anything.
You would definitely know what happened in the Renaissance.
I would have gone home and read about it because he told me to.
True.
I have to teach myself.
This show was filmed in Halifax, Nova Scotia, which is very yeah.
Is that where he's from? Cause he went to St. FX, which is St. Francis Xavier, whatever. It's in Antigonish, which is how it's pronounced, not Antogonish.
It's a what?
That's where it's located, like St. FX.
Okay.
That's
in
really
Nova
cool,
Scotia.
actually. I don't know too many shows filmed out in Halifax.
Yeah. I think maybe that's where he's from. I don't know where he's from, but I know he went to school there.
research it
So
up.
like, no, he's from Scarborough. I lied.
Oh, he's from
I
Scarborough.
googled him last night.
He's from
yeah.
Scarborough?
He's from the Scarbs.
Whoa, from the Scarbs.
And we know all the way out to Nova Scotia to make this.
I guess maybe.
I mean, wouldn't you go up all the way to Nova Scotia if you were filming a TV show all about you?
I mean,
Right.
Like maybe he just didn't leave Nova Scotia after university. 'Cause that's where St.
he's like,
FX is.
nah, I want to do it
I'm gonna
here.
stay here.
Let's get him on the show. Let's ask him all about it.
Next
Mr. D, if you're
Mr.
listening,
Yeah.
join
you
us.
have connections. You came to your banquet.
Clearly, I don't know who that was that got him there, but I'll
Start
hit him up.
emailing.
I'll
Yeah,
hit him
start
up.
emailing Family Feud. You'll find him there.
I actually wanted to be on
exactly.
Family Feud Canada so badly.
Okay, new plan. Gabby, go on Family Feud Canada, meet him,
Yeah.
talk to him on the show
Okay.
live
That's what I'm
to
gonna
come
do.
to our show.
Win
Then he has
Family
to.
Feud, and then he's like, I'll give you money.
Yeah,
like,
win.
I don't want money.
I want you to come on Couch Potato. You have to
And
come
he's
on
like,
Couch
what's
Potato.
that?
You know, it's a good plan when the first step is step one, win Family Feud.
What? I think if we went on as a collective here, we're golden. We can
Right?
win it, right?
I feel like
100%.
So,
we've got like our strengths and like knowledge in every
Oh,
single
yeah.
field.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
You got it.
I
Us
think
plus
all we
Mr.
have-
Light
D.
work.
That would be a perfect team.
Yeah.
All we have to do is listen to the inspiring words from Mr. D himself. Blame yourself, and we're all really alone.
I like
I
the
saw
signs that you
that,
had
and I
up,
thought, I was like,
yeah.
okay, maybe
Oh my
it's supposed to be read differently so that it is
Yeah.
inspirational.
For anyone who's wondering what we're talking about, in the show, he has inspirational quotes in his classroom, like a lot of teachers do. But inspiration is a very loose term for
Yeah.
what the sayings are.
They were not inspirational at all. But I mean, I would. Sorry, my mom told me the mic is in front of my face. So I was just trying to adjust it. Okay, this is really embarrassing once again. But how much
Let's
time
hear
do
it.
we have?
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
No, I mean like how much time we got?
We didn't get a
Enough
warning
time
yet.
for an
We didn't get a
embarrassing
warning?
No.
Oh no, it wasn't like the embarrassing was like asking how much time we have.
story.
Because like last week I had to do that and they're like 30 seconds.
We
and I
cannot
was like,
hear control room.
oh.
Just to let you guys know, we cannot hear you.
Yeah,
Cool. So if you
You
want to
want a
just like
thumbs
give
up,
us a hint,
so-
okay, we gotta wrap it up.
Okay.
So
we gotta wrap it up.
we gotta wrap that section up.
All right,
Cool.
awesome.
Move on.
That's
Alright.
good. That's good.
Just give us a hands up when the music is playing.
I don't know what's going on, but whoever's listening, you are part of a special episode.
Yeah.
Where
we are
we
challenging
don't know
ourselves.
what's going on.
Where we can't hear our control room.
Yeah. It's. We just thought it was too easy to hear the control room.
So we're
Yeah.
going in blind.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Should we like open the door so we can hear them?
Would there be bleed though? Or,
Maybe.
Pretty
we're
loud
gonna
in
find
there.
out. We're
They
gonna
sound like
find
they're
out.
having
You know
quite a hard time.
what does this mean? I don't know. Oh, game! It's time for the game.
time for the
Yeah, who's lying?
Guys, this is okay. All right, okay. It's time for our game.
Which is
Which is whose line was it? Okay, so you guys know how this works. I say a line, you tell me who said it. Okay, I can't read. Hold on, gotta zoom it in. I'm blind. All right, first line. I don't get nervous. I have a gift of the gab, and teaching is just gabbing the kids. Really interesting. Is it A, Mr. D, the underqualified social studies teacher? B, Robert Sheely, the confident vice principal? Or C, Lisa Mason, the teacher with the traditional teaching style, the other social studies teacher?
I think it was Mr. D.
Yeah,
when
definitely
they were like,
Mr. D.
I think because Lisa was talking about how she gets like really nervous, and then like Mr. D is like, nah, that's
Nah.
not me.
Yeah.
Couldn't
Yeah.
relate.
100%.
I'm great at this.
Okay. Our second line. Don't run, speed walk. I was also always.
Wait, was that right?
Yeah, he
Did I not say?
no.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh my god. What an episode this is. Okay. We're ready.
Yeah, it was Mr. D.
Great.
Next line, don't run, speed walk. I was almost in the Olympics for this. Is it A, Mr. D, B, Trudy Walsh, the school secretary, or C, Bobby, I don't know how to say her last name, Galka, the respected PE teacher?
No, nobody in that show was even close to being in the Olympics. And if there's a line that's a lie like that, it's Mr. D.
That's a no-brainer at that
Mr.
point.
D. And then he also does the speed
He
walk
does.
down the hall.
Now, they're saying something in there, but 30 seconds.
All right.
So the correct answer is Mr. D once again. Yeah, he does tell the kid not to do that, and then he like speed walks, and he's like, it's in the hips, and he's like moving, and he looks like a granny.
He does it
like, you know, those
tremendously.
granny speed walks. What?
He does it tremendously, like walking down, like speed walking down the hall.
Yeah, he is kind of thick when he's doing that speed walk. I'm not gonna lie.
He's got the hip movement going. Hips don't lie.
Exactly.
No. Okay. Anyway, that's it for our first round of Whose Line Was It. We're gonna move on, I think, to our next.
Will there be music? We will
Will there
see.
be music? I don't know.
That's
if
the
not,
real
we've always
question.
got Gabby to sing, right?
We always got my stingers.
Okay, good.
Oh, there is music.
There is.
Oh, I can't hear it.
It's so faint.
Very quiet.
Is it quiet for people listening too, or just for us?
Great question.
Anyone listening, let us know if the music is really quiet.
Let us know in the
if
Twitch
the
chat.
Music is
If you're
volume.
watching there.
Maybe send us a
0.5.
DM. Check out our Instagram. Okay, anyways, let's move on to Schitt's Creek, my episode. Schitt's Creek is one of my favorite television series of all time. So if you hate it, don't tell me. The pilot episode is Our Cup Runneth Over. And basically what happens is we are introduced to the wealthy Rose family as they are being evicted from their mansion, and they are all of their prized possessions are being seized by, I believe, the bank or the government or somebody. Essentially, they're losing their entire fortune after. Oh, I just found out the music is not quiet, so we're okay. They're losing their entire fortune after their business manager cons them, and now he's out in the Cayman Islands or something. Some guy tells them that one of the only things that they have left in their possession is this small town they bought as a joke called Schitt's Creek. The town, so the family decides to move to this small town because they can live there for next to nothing while they pick themselves back up and they get themselves back on their feet. So when they get there, they move into this local motel. I believe it's called the Schitt's
What
Creek
is it?
Motel, I think.
Rosebud.
But then later
That's
on
aggressive.
it changes to the Rosebud Motel, but that's a later story. They meet the weird mayor, Roland Schitt, which is probably the best name ever.
Yeah, big time.
The sarcastic front desk, Stevie Budd, and yeah, we just get introduced to some very interesting characters already. So Alexis, who is the daughter in the family, isn't everyone else is panicking in this family. Like they are like, what are we gonna do? I cannot live in this place called Schitt's Creek. But Alexis is kind of doing okay, and we're like, why is that? Turns out her boyfriend Stavros agrees to come pick her up and fly her away from this situation. But she'll leave the rest of her family behind. So that kind of causes some chaos while they explore the city. Going to dinner, they meet Twyla, the waitress, who works at the local diner. They get into an argument with the mayor, and then the mayor actually removes the doors from their motel. There's more chaos. Moira, who is the mother, thinks that her diamond earrings have been stolen, and she freaks out and starts accusing Stevie of stealing them. She ends up finding them in some random place. There's just a lot of chaos going on. Johnny goes and apologizes to the mayor, and they get their doors back. Stavros ends up not showing up and abandoning Alexis. So in the end,
breaking up with Alexis.
Yes. So in the end, they just end up in a really shitty mood in Schitt's Creek.
Said.
They're just in a miserable mood, just accepting their new reality, but barely. It's a really one thing I really love about the show is its unique comedy style, and it's very bland and it's very harsh and sad, and what's it called? Sarcastic. And one of my favorite characters is Moira, who plays the mother, because she's just so dramatic, and she's got just some amazing lines. Like, she says, like, pick up a hammer and nail this coffin shut, or let's all pray we don't wake up. Like, these are just some of my favorite lines that she says. But yeah, what do you guys think of the show? What do you think
2
of
minutes.
the characters?
I think I've seen this show just about like 3 or 4 times.
All the way through?
Yes,
Whoa.
I absolutely adore Schitt's Creek.
Yes.
There's just like so much that it gives, and like it never stops giving, and just like Moira, the way she speaks, number one, already fantastic. Alexis, I absolutely adore her character development.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Beautiful. David is like beautifully sarcastic, and Johnny is just like, he's like the calmer one that keeps everyone together, which is nice. But yeah, I absolutely adore Schitt's Creek.
Yeah, I actually, so obviously, like I've said, I'm one of those, like, cable things, you know, so I've never watched it, like, beginning through end. But whenever, I think there was one night I was in my basement till, like, 5 in the morning, maybe, and the TV, like, they were just playing Schitt's Creek's episode over and over. And I couldn't tell you what any of the episodes were about. I just remember, like, them being so funny. Like, there's just always something. It's not even, like, major, like, it's something so minor, but so funny at the same time. Like, I feel like they do a really good job of, like, it's, like, it's just thrown in there, but it's, like, it's hilarious. And that's what makes the show, like, I don't know. Yeah, that's what I gotta say. That's what I gotta say.
If you break it down, there's not always too much going on in the actual show, but however they, like, act about it,
Yeah,
or
it's, like, whatever
how
it
dramatic
is.
they get,
Yeah.
it's the best part of
Yes.
it.
I don't think you can get any more dramatic than that family. There.
Right?
Not at all. But like Sheeza was saying, that it was fun to watch the first episode again, because they're completely different characters than they are,
30 seconds.
in a couple seasons that come. They're like, wow, they've really come a long way, and it in a really nice way. They're like, okay, it's nice to see where these characters have come.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, really, I mean, yeah, you can't beat the character development of these characters.
9.
And
8,
again, you can't beat the way they
7,
say things, the way they
6,
talk. I love.
5.
Oh, okay, cool.
4,
Okay, we're done with
3,
section.
2, 1.
Wow, the show's really put together today.
Yep.
Oh god.
I believe that the people at home can hear our tech team too.
Can
They
they?
might be able.
That's what I got from a text.
I heard that they can hear, like, background noise.
It might just be like
Just the
moving through
door,
Yeah.
Could be that. And then they
Is
can
the
hear the
music
music nice.
That's good.
Yeah,
Nice
that's what
and
my
clear.
mom said.
Okay, is the music out, Tech? team?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, with that abrupt ending of Schitt's Creek, let's get into Whose Line Was It? Schitt's Creek edition. This is going to be a fun one, so try to guess who said what line. The first line is, please, someone just give me a key to a door, to a room, any room. I just want a bathtub and a long extension cord, please. Is it Moira, the dramatic mother, who said this? David, the snooty, pessimistic son? Or Alexis, the upper-class valley girl daughter?
Could be any of those. 'Cause
It really
they
could
would
be.
all say it.
I'm gonna
But,
take a
It
guess
doesn't
and
say
say
the
it was
writing team.
Moira.
Yeah, it's a Moira line.
What are you going with, Gabby?
I don't know. See, the thing is I didn't watch this episode last night because I had watched it recently and decided not to watch it last night. But I feel
Well,
like I should have done that
Time is
tonight.
ticking.
So
Give
who
us
do you
an
think it
answer.
is?
I don't know who it is. Let's just go with Moira. If everyone else say Moira, just
Yeah, for
Well,
sure.
that's crazy because Moira's correct. There we go. When they first arrived to the Schitt's Creek Motel, Johnny argues for an extra room when dramatic Moira can no longer take the discussion and yells this. All right, second line. Because if someone were to break in here in the middle of the night wanting to murder us, they would attack this bed first. So I need this bed. Who said that? Was that David,
30
the
seconds.
snooty, pessimistic son, Alexis, the upper-class valley girl daughter, or C, Johnny, the practical, hardworking businessman father?
That's most definitely David. They were arguing. He was arguing with Alexis between which bed
yeah.
he wants to get, and she's like, so if like a murderer
10
comes in the middle of the
seconds.
night, you're just gonna let me get
10,
murdered, and then it's like go on about your
8,
night.
7,
That was the plan.
6.
Yeah.
5,
Well, yeah, you guys got it. It was David. When they must share a room, they argue over who can take what bed, and obviously, David does not want the bed closest to the door because he does not want to be murdered.
I knew, like, I was like, that's so David, because I feel like that's so me, and I feel like me and David are
you and
almost
David
the same.
are like this.
Yeah.
I think we all relate to David
Sheeza's
personally.
Yeah.
All right, this has been Schitt's Creek. The music may be playing.
All right. I heard the music this time. I heard it a little bit. And time to move on to a third show, which is going to be Trailer Park Boys. Not at all similar to Schitt's Creek. Just as fun, though, but completely different. This one is not about a rich family at all. It's about people on the complete other side, where they're living with the bare minimum. So it stars the two main characters, Ricky and Julian, which they just got out of jail. They spent 18 months in jail, and now they get to go back home to the trailer park. That's the first episode, and the show also introduces a kind of new and unique way of filming. It's a mockumentary style. So they've always got the camera crew following around, and it's done in a really cheap and cheesy way where you see the boom mic come onto the screen so many times. This camera might be a little shaky and stuff, and there's no really cinematic shots or any over the shoulders or things like that. It's all just kind of a wide shot pretty much the entire time of just following people around. So it gives a really silly, stupid, unorganized vibe to the show. And that's exactly what it is. It's every character is dumber than the other in this show here. You've got, like I said, Ricky and Julian, who just got out of jail in episode 1. And then they find out that there's a guy, Cyrus, who has taken over the trailer park. He's not from the trailer park. He's an outsider. People don't like him because he's bullying everyone, and he's got a gun, and he threatens to use it to everyone, right? Because he's killed someone before, etc. So, and then on this one, you meet all the characters. So I'll kind of do the same and explain to you guys briefly. We've got Mr. Leahy, who is the park supervisor and who loves to catch Ricky and Julian for stuff. Then you've got Randy, who kind of like the vice principal and Mr. D, is always thinking he's slick or something, but really like nobody wants to hear what he has to say. And fun fact about him, he never wears a shirt. Then you've got Corey and Trevor, who kind of help Ricky with stuff. Again, these characters keep getting dumber and dumber, so you got now Corey and Trevor, and if you want to get even dumber than that, you've got J-Rock and Tyrone, who might be the local drug dealers, allegedly. And then the one character everybody loves is Bubbles. Bubbles is a sweetheart of the show. He'll never do anything to harm anyone. Everyone in the trailer park kind of likes Bubbles. Everyone watching him likes him, and he's just got a big heart. He's so kind. He's willing to give the little he has to anybody, and you see that through the show. So it really balances really nicely with, the characters who are doing, a little bit of con things, and then characters who are doing some stupid things, and then Bubbles being the sweetheart. But the premise of the show, after this episode here, once, Julian will kick Cyrus out, and then kind of everyone gets back together. Everything is introduced in the pilot. And then as you move forward, you just see these people trying to live their life in a clean way without going back to jail. So they start growing dope, and that's their thing, obviously. Not really clean, right? But that's their definition of not committing any crime. They're going to sell some weed. And they do really dumb things, like Ricky doesn't have his grade 10. And basically every character is as dumb as the other one. So I'm curious to know from you guys if you've watched the show, and who do you think is the dumbest character on the show? Because that could be a hot take.
I have a strong feeling that Ricky gives off like kind of dumb vibes. I don't know, that man he's just kind of strange, and I feel like Julian is usually there to kind of help Ricky out. But like this is also just saying from like seeing one episode, so like I can't say I'm qualified to make that judgment.
Well, I don't think me or Maya are even like, give it less qualified because what you said you
I've seen a good 10 minutes of the episode, and I too think it is Ricky.
I do as well. I've also seen like the first episode in bits and pieces, but just based off of like his character when he like first came out, like he was kind of just dumb. There's also that one guy in I don't remember his name. There's two guys in this house. I think his name's maybe Corey or something.
Yeah, Corey and Trevor.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, the
Corey.
ones living.
Yeah. Also seemed kind of airheaded.
Yeah, Corey and Trevor. Like Ricky definitely is known as the dumb one.
Yeah.
But Corey and Trevor listen to Ricky.
Okay.
So they
that
might
makes
even
them really
be dumber.
dumb.
There was an episode where they plan some heist or something. They need new furniture for the trailer park. So this is what Ricky does. Which I don't know if he called this dumb or smart, but it worked. Anyway, he goes into this office, this corporate office, and he's like, oh yeah, these corporate offices, every time you go in, they don't really know who you are. So you act like you're some higher up, and you can fool them every time. So he walks right in. He's like, oh, guys, we got to get all this furniture out. And they're like, what do you mean? He's like, no, it's okay. I talked to Jeff. And they're like, you know Jeff? He doesn't know who Jeff is. It's just he spitballs a random name. He's like, yeah. You're getting new furniture tomorrow. They're bringing some new things down from HR. Don't worry about it. We need to get this out of here. And then everyone gets their furniture out. He packs it up, brings it to the trailer park.
Oh my gosh.
So that's kind of a good gist of the show. They do con things like that. They have fun. And obviously there were no Jeff. There was nobody bringing new furniture to this office. But it worked. Somehow it did, which is it's just as stupid as it gets. And I guess the one last thing I want to ask you guys before we run out of time, what do you think of the style, the little mockumentary style, and the fact that they got 12 seasons of this show? Like they've gone forever. They
Which
made
is
movies,
really
they
awesome.
made cartoons of it.
It's kind of giving like The Office vibes because that was also a mockumentary.
Yeah.
It's also older too, right? Like when
Yeah, I think
Is
it
it older?
started in '99, I think.
Dang. Okay, yeah, that makes sense for like the camera quality and like the first season because like I was kind of confused to see how like it was like in like a square and like
it was a very
10
unique intro,
seconds.
but I kind of like it reeled me in. I definitely wanted to watch more, so I kind of liked. I liked the formatting
7,
actually. It was
6,
It felt like watching
5,
someone's YouTube video,
4,
you know?
Yeah.
Like,
3,
like
sure.
this
2,
boys group.
just out of
Definitely something at like midnight or late night when you're not too sure.
Something stupid
Throw
to
that
watch.
on. Throw that on. 100%. There it is. There's the music. And that means it's time to play a game of Whose Line Was It? And for this trailer park first line, we've got Take Your Hands Off of Me, Sasquatch. Was that A, Cyrus, the guy with the gun who thinks he's all cool? B, Randy, the assistant trailer park supervisor, the one with no shirt? Or C, Ricky, who was in jail with Julian, and we all know who Ricky is at this point.
Okay, I know what scene it was. I just don't know if it was Randy or Ricky. Because I think it was when he was like, there was like the cop guy or whatever.
yeah,
and
that's
this
what
other
I was
guy.
thinking of as well.
I just don't know which one of them it was. But I'm going to go with Ricky.
I want to say it was Ricky as well, like saying it to Randy. But then also I know Cyrus is like prone to saying like random things like that as well. But I'm gonna stick with Ricky.
Okay.
I'm gonna piggyback and say Ricky.
Ooh, well,
We're just all wrong.
yeah, you guys actually are all wrong.
Oh, nice.
I'm thinking you guys are thinking of when Ricky did the kind of the same thing, but he called Cyrus Fonzie because of his leather jacket, right? He's like, oh, take your hands off me, Fonzie, right?
30 seconds.
But the Sasquatch, that was Cyrus, and he was talking to Randy because Randy's got
I should
no
have gone
shirt.
with my gut.
Yeah, I should have.
He's got no shirt and full of chest hair, so he was
Yeah.
referred to as a Sasquatch.
Yeah, see, I don't think I made it far enough in the episode to meet Cyrus, so that's probably why I didn't know.
Fair enough. It's okay. You can make up for it with the second line here.
I hope so.
Which is, here, I got you some hot dogs. Is that Mr. Leahy, the trailer park supervisor, or B, Trinity, Ricky's daughter, or C, Julian, who is in jail
10
with Ricky
seconds.
and considers himself a teacher
10,
to Ricky? Kind of the
9,
father figure of the entire trailer
8,
park.
Oh my god. We have very few seconds left, but I do believe it was Julian giving the hot dogs to Ricky at night after he was laying on his porch.
2,
You are spot on.
1.
You are spot on.
Look at that.
I'm not even gonna
Take
explain
one
it
for
because
the
you got the whole
We got,
scene.
like-
You got everything.
And
with
we
it,
got
so.
like 30 seconds probably. I don't know. I can't hear. But
Not even.
Not even.
Like
We got
0
like
seconds.
0 seconds. Look at that.
Less than 0 seconds.
Buzzer beater goal. Nicely done.
Thank
Nicely done.
All right, let's get into our last show, guys.
Why?
Imagine we talk like that. Hey guys, this is Couch Potato. We're starting a new. We're just gonna have a new mentality coming into these shows. We're gonna be talking like this.
Saw, dude.
No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so show 4, Kim's Convenience. It's a wonderful show. The first episode is called Gay Discount. Already an iconic name.
This episode is so funny.
It really is. So like it starts off with like these two people coming in and they want to hang up their sign in Kim's Convenience, which is the store. And then Mr. Kim is like, nah, I don't want to hang this up. And then he's accused of being homophobic because like it was like for like gay pride. And then like the two guys like he tries to prove that he's not homophobic. I think he honestly just didn't like the sign that they made.
Didn't.
But yeah, he tries to prove that he's not homophobic by giving a 15% discount to anyone that's gay. But it's only during Pride Week. What a wonderful offer, right? And then meanwhile, Janet's mom is trying to help Janet get a boyfriend, even though she doesn't want one. And yeah, this episode is like a nice little introduction to like the family dynamic.
Yeah,
And then like Jung, who works at Handy Car Rental. I don't really know what.
Son, yeah.
There's not much happening there, but like. Yeah, it's just like an intro to what the dynamic is there, and then like Shannon gets to meet like all the parents and
family.
like Janice, and then like it's
the dynamic between Mr. Kim, like his dad, and
Yeah.
Janet is like not the greatest.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, what'd you guys think of the show in like the first episode?
I love how he couldn't say homophobic, right? He was just trying. He's like, I'm homophobic. Homophobic. I was like, that's not it. But you're trying. And I give it to you for trying.
Appa is definitely my favorite character. I love how like you could see he like loves everyone, but also he just doesn't get the culture.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I loved how the whole gay discount, how he would just like be like, oh yeah, you get the gay discount. He's like, but I'm
someone else
not. And then some people, he's like,
You're
no,
not gay.
no gay discount for
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
right? And then he like comes back. He's like, no, I swear I'm gay. He's like, no gay discount. He's like, I know, gay dog guaranteed 100%. And he would come back with like his partner, and then his partner gets the discount, and then he's like, oh no, but like he said something about I don't know being
4
bisexual or
minutes.
something. He's like, see, you're not completely gay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He wasn't even 4 minutes.
Yeah, for
Right on.
But the funniest was I think when is it Amma?
Yeah.
Yeah, she brought in 2 guys
Yeah.
to like quote unquote work at the store, but really they were like 2 guys for
Janet.
yeah, for Janet to like become a potential boyfriend, and then Alpha just is like, oh yeah, you guys get the gay discount.
Yeah.
funny.
I remember she was like looking for like a cool Christian
Korean boy. Yeah.
And she was like, Mom, that doesn't exist. Like
And she's like, your brother is a cool Christian Korean. She's like, do you want me to date my brother?
You're saying you want me to date my brother?
And that's like right off the top as well.
Yeah.
I love how like they literally just introduce like the topic of like the LGBTQ plus matters right off the top, and like it's just like completely always accepted, and there's
Yeah.
like it's never like questioned that like even though like Appa and Amma come from like a immigrant background, they just like are completely accepting of it because that's just like the environment in which they're like
Yeah.
working in, and like kind of like
because it's like it's Toronto, right? Like
Yeah,
you've gotta be
exactly.
open to
Like,
all the
they're
different
stereotypical to like a certain extent, though. Like it's
Yeah.
still like except
like I
you
want the
said,
cool
very-
Christian Korean
Yeah.
that you're gonna marry.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're still like
and
very
there's
accepting.
still like stereotypes in the show for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
I
for
just
sure.
think that it like Yeah, it's definitely a lot more diverse and a lot more open than a lot of shows. And it's so fun that it's in Toronto because like Janet goes to OCAD. Like we're like right next to it. Like it's just so fun to have a show that's like close to home.
Ryerson in the show,
right on the first the Pride. I saw the SLC.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
The first shot.
I have to rewind.
I love how
go back
there's
and
like
watch it.
all the B-roll is just like shots of Toronto, which is so cool.
Yeah.
And like I went to like the actual Kim's Convenience and I went inside the store. It doesn't look like what it looks like in the show. Sorry,
People
hate
think
to
it's
break
like
it to you
the
guys, but like on the outside, it obviously looks the exact same, and it's just like so crazy, like seeing that like this is actually in Toronto.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Where is the store?
It's like
somewhere, I don't know.
let me search it up.
Is it far from our couch potato field trip?
It is. Hold up.
Okay, while you're looking at that,
I don't
we
know
got 2 minutes.
We got 2 minutes. All right. Remember last week I had a story about seeing Simu
Oh yeah.
and
Oh right, it's on Queen Street. Anyways,
It's on Queen Street?
Go.
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay. So here's the quick story. I was sitting in this cafe. I think it's called Press Cafe or something. It's on Bloor Street, like Bloor, in between Bloor Young, Bloor and Church. Sitting in there, and I'm just sitting there. I am like preparing for this presentation for RTA 102, which is creative processes, I think. I'm preparing because I have to go home and record the presentation with my group in like a half hour. So I'm like writing the presentation while I'm sitting there, and then I'm just gonna leave. And I'm sitting in there, and this guy gets out of this like Cadillac, and I'm just like, oh, okay. I look, and then I look back. I was like, wait, is that Simu? Because I had just seen Shang-Chi like a week ago. I had just seen the movie. I was like, oh my god. So this other guy in the cafe also saw him too, and like we both like run out there, and the guy asked him if he can get a picture, and he's like, I'll be back in 20 minutes. Like, I'll be back. And I was like, all right, fine. I'll wait it out. I'll just like, show up late for the presentation. And then I'm waiting there and he's not coming out. I was like, oh my gosh, like I need to get this picture with this guy before I leave. But I was sitting with like a coworker, and I told my coworker, I was like, okay, I gotta go. Like I'm gonna have to go home. But when he comes out, like get a picture of him. And he's like, all right, okay, I'll get a picture. So I go home. He sends me the picture, like whenever he comes out. It was a blurry, like you could not even tell who it was. He didn't even get out of his chair. He just took it from the window. I was like, that is not what I asked for. So I never got a proper picture. I got to see him. That's it. I didn't even get a picture. I didn't get to meet him. It was so upsetting because I was like, oh my gosh, big Marvel actor right here, 2 feet away from me, and I did not get.
It's okay because you got to see him.
Yeah, I got to see him with my eyes. There's no proof.
Yeah,
we believe
30
you.
seconds.
We do believe you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You don't believe me?
No, I'm just kidding.
Gosh.
But it's so cool to see Simu Liu like start off with like a show like Kim's Convenience,
and then like
so
go
close
into
to home,
like,
and
Marvel.
And then went on to Marvel. Like,
and it's crazy because in the last season, you can see him on a video call with people because he was filming Shang-Chi in Australia. So like he wasn't able to be in Toronto to film like what's Kim's Convenience? I was gonna say Schitt's Creek. No. Yeah, he was in the show too.
oh, he's in all of them.
Is it time?
Period.
The music should be.
I'm not hearing it.
Oh, there we go. Alrighty, okay. So our final game of Whose Line Was It with Kim's Convenience. The first line is sometimes I yearn for a fishy hug. What a line. Was it Shannon, which is the quirky lady. She's Jung's manager. Is it Mr. Kim, Janet and Jung's father, or is it Mrs. Kim, Janet and Jung's mother?
Shannon.
Ooh, this is a shot in the dark, but I'm gonna go with Shannon.
I feel like Shannon would say that too. Yeah, like yearn. I'd feel like.
Yeah, I feel like that's her maybe kind of, sucking up to what's his name? I'm bad with the characters' names in the show, but.
She was talking to Mr. Kim.
Jung?
Yeah, Jung.
She was talking.
1 minute.
You guys are right about Shannon, but she was talking to Mr. Kim, when they were talking about like their family relationship, and she was talking about how she didn't see her uncle for a while, who was like a fisherman, and that's why she was saying like sometimes I yearn for a fishy hug because that dude.
She didn't want to hug him because he always smelled like fish.
There you go.
Wow, look at that.
All right. The second line is she's gonna die. Alone.
Oh, Mrs. Kim. Mrs. Kim.
I didn't give you the option.
sorry.
Great. That was wonderful. Well, there's no point of.
Please give the options. Please give the options.
No, I
It's
think
too
you
late
got
now,
it. I think you got the option.
It's too late now.
Thank you, Maya.
I didn't even need to see the options. I was like, Mrs. Kim.
Yeah. No, Maya is correct. It was Mrs. Kim. She like walks into
20 seconds.
any car rental and she takes over Shannon's office and gets Jung to come in there. And then she's like, Janice is going to die. Well, like, she's going to die. And then, like, Jung's all concerned. He's like, alone. And then he's like, oh, my God, not this. And then, like, I think, like, Shannon comes in. And she's like, I need my insulin. And she's like, no, we're having a meeting.
She's like,
she's
fine,
like,
I'll
eat
just
an
eat
orange. Yeah.
Mrs. Kim
That
very
was
assertive.
Whose line was it? For Kim's convenience.
For
Thank
Kim's
you, Maya.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay, Mara. We're joking.
Right on. So, from Halifax all the way to Toronto, from some very rich families all the way to the scums of a trailer park. We've talked about it all today. We've talked about Schitt's Creek, Trailer Park Boys, Mr. D, and Kim's Convenience. Our 4 picks of our favorite Canadian shows. But we also want to hear, we know there's more Canadian shows out there, so give us a shout on Instagram at couchpotato.show and let us know what your favorite Canadian show, movie, YouTube, whatever it is. Let us know what your favorite Canadian stuff is. We want to hear about it.
Canadian actor, actress.
Could be actor too. We want to thank you guys for listening. Thank you, and big shout out to the people back home who are helping us with the tech, giving us text messages throughout the show, letting us know what
Also
they
shout
can
out to
hear,
the
what they
actual
can't hear.
tech team.
Shout out to the tech team who's been trying to figure this out this entire time while we've just been chatting away.
Yelling in the background.
It's actually so funny.
I'm looking at them like through this small window, and they're like, 5 seconds.
So they've been pouring their heart and soul out there. So a big shout out to them. Shout out to Sheeza, our guest host, for coming in today. It's always a pleasure to have you on here. It's always a good time. I think that's all the shout outs we have to say. It's been our Canadian episodes. Again, let us know at couchpotato.show on Instagram what your favorite Canadian stuff is. And what do you have to think about our shows? If there's a favorite line, anything you want to quote, any hot takes we said that you don't agree with. Again, couchpotato.show on Instagram. Let us know everything you want to hear. And besides that, any last words from anyone?
Maybe let us know what you want to see. I mean, we're almost wrapping it up here, guys. We don't have a lot of episodes
3 more
left.
shows to go, guys.
3 more shows to go.
do
so
let us
if
know
there's something you want to hear.
Yeah, like if
Do you
there's a
have
specific show you want us to talk about,
Posts.
we might not even talk about it. But just let us know.
Couchpotato.show.
Yeah.
Let
Follow
know.
us.
And without further ado, we will be back next Wednesday at 10 a.m. I am
10:10.
Stéphane.
10-10.
10-10. I'm Gabby.
I'm Maya.
And I'm Sheeza.
It's been Couch Potato. It's been a blast.